Brazil's President Lulu da Silva criticizes both Ukrainian and Russian leaders for not being ready to talk peace. Turkish President Erdogan speaks to Putin about reinstating the Black Sea grain deal and calls for de-escalation after Russian attacks in Odessa. The attacks reportedly damaged 40,000 tons of grain bound for African nations, China, and Israel, sparking anger in Ukraine and Romania. International experts reveal findings of torture and sexual violations against prisoners in Russian-occupied southern Ukraine. Top Democrats, concerned about a repeat of third-party challenges in the past, worry that candidates like Cornel West on the Green Party ticket and potential contender Senator Joe Manchin with no labels could siphon critical votes from Joe Biden. They fear this could impact his re-election chances, especially as polls show a dead heat between Biden and Donald Trump in swing states. The latest indictment against Trump underscores the stakes, as Democrats fear the future of the Democratic experiment is at risk. Walt Disney World's governing district, controlled by Florida Governor Ron DeSantis appointees, abolished diversity, equity, and inclusion programs, calling them illegal and un-American. The move is part of a broader effort to restrict such measures in the state. The decision comes amidst a feud between Disney and DeSantis, who took away Disney's self-governance and appointed a new board. Disney has sued the governor, alleging retaliation and unconstitutionality. The FBI is searching for more victims after a woman escaped from a makeshift dungeon in Oregon. Negasi Zubiri, the suspect, was arrested on suspicion of kidnapping and sexual assault. He has been linked to violent assaults in multiple states, and investigators believe there may be other victims. Zubiri was indicted on kidnapping and transportation charges. The woman escaped after being taken from Seattle to Klamath Falls, Oregon, where she was held in a cinder-block cell in Zubiri's garage. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau revealed on Instagram that he and his wife Sophie Gras, copyright Trudeau, are separating after difficult discussions. They remain a close family with love and respect, focusing on the well-being of their children. The Prime Minister's office stated that a legal separation agreement has been signed, and they will continue to handle the matter ethically moving forward. Former President Donald Trump faces a significant legal setback as he is indicted on criminal charges related to efforts to overturn the 2020 election. The latest indictment, the third so far, accuses him of attempting to undermine American democracy. The trial will focus on protecting democracy itself. Trump denies wrongdoing, but experts consider these charges to be the most serious yet. If convicted on multiple indictments, he could face over 20 years in prison and is straining his campaign's finances to cover legal expenses. Pope Francis met with clergy sexual abuse survivors in Portugal, criticizing the Catholic hierarchy's handling of the scandal. The visit coincides with Portugal's church facing its own abuse crisis, with experts reporting possible abuse cases since 1950. During the hour-long meeting with 13 victims, the Pope emphasized intense listening and aimed to address the Church's legacy of abuse and cover-ups. Scientists in Peru discovered fossils of Parusetus colossus, an ancient whale that lived 40 million years ago. Weighing up to 340 metric tons and measuring around 20 meters long, it surpasses today's blue whale and even the largest dinosaurs in size. The whale's dense bones suggest it lived in shallow coastal waters, possibly feeding near the seafloor like manatees. Although related to Basilosaurus, Parusetus was likely a slow, peaceful giant, according to researchers. Poland accuses Belarus of violating its airspace with helicopters, prompting increased tension between the NATO member and Russia's ally. The situation worsens in the Suwalki corridor, where Russian mercenary group Wagner is moving, raising concerns for NATO and EU members. Belarus denies the airspace violation, blaming Poland for building up forces near its border. Poland responds by deploying more troops and combat helicopters to the region. The US ordered a partial embassy evacuation in Niger after last week's coup. Foreign nationals were evacuated, and the French embassy was attacked. The coup leader warned against interference, and protests supporting the coup are expected on Independence Day. France asked for embassy security guarantees, while the UK also reduced staff. Sanctions and aid suspension were imposed, and Nigeria reportedly cut electricity supplies. The US vowed to restore the democratically elected government. ECOWAS discussed possible military intervention as a last resort. Gen Chiani seized power to prevent Niger's demise.